First half of this year will be marked with a big disinvestment on the gold side. There's not a lot of longs on the silver side. So you actually could see gold and silver drop and gold drop more. Or let's put it this way, the gold-silver ratio at 87 is lower today, which is a sign of stronger silver in a market that's being sold off. Now, is that good to have silver drop at all? No, it's not. But the point is, the metal's personality has changed. Gold is overbought and silver is oversold relative to each other.
Vince Lanci, a renowned analyst in the precious metals space, has shared important insights and predictions for silver in 2024. In the first of many predictions for the metal in 2024, Vince discusses his price outlook for silver and factors that could positively and negatively impact silver's price in 2024. To begin with, Vince explains that silver is oversold, and that while both gold and silver may be due for more price declines in the first half of the year, silver will have a slight edge over gold. According to Vince, silver is oversold and considered ripe for buying in 2024. On the other hand, gold, which central banks have massively accumulated in the past 2 years, is overbought and possibly due for some downward price movements. However, Vince's not too optimistic predictions for silver and gold end in the first half of 2024. The analyst expects the US Federal Reserve to announce 2 or more rate cuts in the second half of the year. Periods of relaxed monetary policies are generally better for the prices of precious metals, and experts have been warning that the next round of quantitative easing or rate cuts will be even more beneficial for gold and silver. It will finally show people how doomed the financial system is, and the race to return to tangible and real money will be alarming. In a recent video with Arcadia Economics, Vince speaks about an important topic that has been on everyone's lips for a while now: the issue of price revaluation for precious metals like gold and silver. Both metals have especially been singled out for price suppression and manipulation by central banks and other financial institutions in the western part of the world. Vince reckons that China and other BRICS countries or prospective members have handpicked gold and silver as the major tools to escaping Western hegemony. He explains that that's why these countries have been stacking gold and silver openly and covertly. Vince believes these countries have already decided to revalue their gold and silver holdings sometime between the latter half of the year and early 2025. If that happens, prices will instantly skyrocket because it will no longer be under the purview of the Western world. Vince believes the change in gold prices will be significant, but silver investors will be the true winners. We will now bring you clips from the video. Please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos on gold and silver. Thank you and enjoy the video.
2024, the year of 3 years, or you can call it as beginning, middle, and end. January to July, I expect all markets, stocks included, although I can't be sure about stocks, to be soft, sideways, or lower. I think that because most markets are overly romanticizing a Fed rate cut of 6 rate cuts. It's like 100 rate cuts in 3 months, that type of stuff. And we're probably not going to get that. We're probably going to get no rate cuts and then one big rate cut of like 3%, knowing how these guys manage their risk. Anyway, between now and whenever that rate cut actually comes, I think markets are going to be punished for it. And I think gold and silver are going to be punished. Silver theoretically is punished more because it's economic. But, I think there's a lot of gold disinvestment here. Second chapter, August to October. I think between August and October, you're going to see the rate cuts that you're going to have rate cuts in the second half of this year if you don't have them in the first half. Okay. And if you have them in the first half, you won't have them in the second half. So January to July, if there's no rate cuts, we're going to need them. Well, if there's not enough rate cuts, let's put it that way, we're going to need them August to October. August to October will also be as the BRICS start to prepare for the next summit, which I think is going to be even more important than last year. Third part of the year is November to 2025. That would be this year's buy season. And that would be this is what I hope to flow. January to July, sideways to lower. We expect it. We know it's coming. We're not panicking. August to October, I want to see activity on the BRICS side. Doesn't necessarily have to be buying. It has to be preparation. They have to get their payment chains in order. November to 2025, that will be how this news is digested. This could be the year I hate to use this phrase, but this could be the year of the reset. And by that, I mean a public statement by the West acknowledging that the East has remonetized gold and is doing so in a softer way. Number two, BRICS style buying. Okay, see the little blue rectangle there? That's the weekly chart going back. That's the blue rectangle is 2022 to 2023. Remember when India bought all that silver? Well, they bought it in this time frame here. And that's why silver just screamed higher. If you remember back then, the EFP was negative because someone was buying silver. Coin premiums were very high for multiple reasons, but someone was also buying silver. And the third reason was the BRICS were getting ready.
Russia's 2024 BRICS chairmanship started on the first day of the year with the addition of 5 new members: Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. Putin commented on how the bloc is attracting an ever-increasing number of supporters and like-minded countries that share its underlying principles. These principles include sovereign equality, respect for the chosen path of development, mutual consideration of interests, openness, consensus, the aspiration to form a multipolar international order and a fair global financial and trade system, and the pursuit of collective solutions to the top challenges of our time. He added that the 2024 BRICS summit, which will be held under his presidency in Kazan, will be dedicated to establishing a fair world order. He also criticized the West for demanding a so-called rules-based world order, which does not actually exist because the rules change every day depending on the political agenda and the interests and whims of those promoting the prevailing narrative. Let's get back to the interview.
Remonetization of silver comes after gold. Why India and China bought? Okay. And most people that talk about China's buying will say China's buying because of solar panels, because it's industrial. And that's true. But we've done not an expose, but Bai and myself wrote a piece on China buying silver. And it's who that buys the silver that matters, not how much is being bought. And that's a flow trade. And the buyers of the silver in China was a company, and I may be butchering their name, Chengtong. And Chengtong is one of those huge companies, like the Japanese Keiretsus. I'm not sure what they're called in China. There's probably a word for it. But just call it a conglomerate. They buy and they make solar panels. They buy and they also have an investment division. They buy on behalf of the government of Japan. They are an investment fund for the government of Japan. All the silver they're buying doesn't add up to solar panels. They're also buying to own it. Why is India buying it? Well, India's not a big solar panel maker, at least not yet. India's a big silver buyer, but not like we saw last year, right? They're gold guys. So why are they buying so much silver? I initially thought they were buying, I had a tinfoil hat on. I said, oh, maybe they're buying some from Russia because Russia doesn't have access anymore, et cetera, et cetera. But whether they are or they aren't, that doesn't matter. The point is, other BRICS countries are buying silver when China is buying silver. And that's because they're not creating solar panels. They're going to remonetize these. Now, what do I mean by that? In 2023, at the August, the August summit, the BRICS were given marching orders, right? And the marching orders for all the BRICS, China and Russia probably not so much, was get your financial houses in order and start to make a list of the assets that you have on your country's balance sheet that you wish to be considered for collateral in this new BRICS world. And that means, do you have gold? That's on your list. Do you have Pokemon? That's on your list. Are we going to accept Pokemon? No, we're not. But, that's what you make. You've got to try and get it in there. Well, if you're a country with a lot of silver, you're going to say, well, we want silver to be monetized. Pretend you're Brazil. Brazil's got silver, right? Pretend you're Mexico. Pretend you're Argentina. Now, they're not all necessarily in the BRICS, but if they go into the BRICS, they're going to say, well, it's collateral, right? I don't really have a lot of gold, but I got a lot of silver. China's like, yeah, we don't have a problem with silver. We like silver, right? India's like, oh, shit, well, if these countries have silver, then we want to buy more silver. China, if silver's going to be on the list, and it's going to be on the list, China's buying silver. Russia's buying silver. We don't see it, but they're buying it. Latin American countries that are part of it, silver. Other things will be on that list too. government bonds, they'll probably be laughed at. Because so the BRICS summit is going to be held in Kazan, Russia. It's the first summit with expanded members. See these countries? Saudi Arabia, gold and silver. UAE, gold and silver. Iran, gold and silver. Argentina, well, they may not be in this one this year, right? Well, supposedly they're not, right? Silver. Egypt, gold and silver. Ethiopia, gold and silver. These other countries are going to try and throw their oil in there as well for collateral, but that's not, you can't measure oil like you can measure gold and silver, okay? Russia, India, China, South Africa, boom. So now it's a BRICS 11, all right? So the remonetization of silver comes after gold. They've all already agreed on gold. Silver's a lot harder, but it's still easier than everything else on the planet, okay? So silver's being softly remonetized.
Vince also talked about the troubled Chinese economy. By his estimates, China is due for some immediate economic policies that will help to reduce its seemingly unending battles. Vince believes that China, much like other countries, will be printing a lot in 2024, especially in the other half of the year. This move, which is also expected of the Federal Reserve, will help drive gold and silver prices higher. Do you think that silver and gold prices will be revalued in 2024? Please share your comments and observations with us in the comments section below. Also, ensure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications bell for more videos on gold, silver, and copper. Thanks for watching.